At the 2002 World Junior Championships, a 15-year-old Usain Bolt announces his presence to the world of athletics in spectacular fashion. Competing in front of a passionate home crowd in Kingston, Jamaica, he wins the 200-meter gold medal with a time of 20.61 seconds. This victory makes him the youngest ever male World Junior Champion in the history of the event. It is on this stage that the nickname Lightning Bolt first gains international prominence, a fitting moniker for the lanky teenager with explosive, raw speed. This early triumph is more than just a single win. It represents the arrival of a generational talent destined for greatness. The combination of his youth, his remarkable time, and his victory on home soil creates an immediate and immense national expectation. The pressure of the home crowd was so intense that he reportedly put his shoes on the wrong feet before the final. This performance sets a baseline of extraordinary potential, but the transition from junior prodigy to a durable professional athlete would prove to be an immediate and difficult challenge. Usain Bolt turns professional in 2004 with his primary target set on medaling at the Athens Olympics later that year. However, his debut on the world's biggest stage is undermined by a persistent and nagging hamstring injury that severely limits his performance. As a result, he crashes out of the 200 meters in the very first round, posting a disappointing time of 21.05 seconds that does not reflect his true capabilities. This frustrating Olympic debut highlights the physical toll the sport was already taking on his young body. The difficulties continue to mount for Bolt after the Athens Games, as his progress is further complicated by a 2005 car crash that disrupts his training schedule. These compounding setbacks, stemming from both recurring injuries and misfortune, raise serious concerns within the athletics community about his long-term durability. It becomes clear that his raw, natural talent is not enough to sustain a career at the elite level, which directly leads to a critical reevaluation of his entire support system and training philosophy.
In late 2004, seeking a solution to his injury woes and inconsistent performances, Bolt makes the pivotal decision to switch coaches and begin working with the legendary Glen Mills. Mills, a renowned Jamaican track tactician, immediately identifies a lack of discipline and professionalism in Bolt's approach and institutes a comprehensive overhaul of his training program. The new regimen demands a higher level of commitment to strength, conditioning, and nutrition, all designed to build a more resilient athletic foundation.
With his status as an elite 200-meter runner firmly established, Usain Bolt begins persistently lobbying his coach to allow him to compete in the 100-meter dash. Glen Mills remains skeptical, believing Bolt's tall frame and notoriously slow start from the blocks are ill-suited for the shorter, more explosive event. To test his athlete's resolve, Mills strikes a deal. If Bolt can break the long-standing national 200-meter record, he will get his chance to race the 100 meters professionally. Bolt eagerly accepts the challenge and promptly makes good on his side of the bargain by running 19.75 seconds to break the record. True to his word, Mills allows him to enter a 100-meter race in Rethymno, Greece in July 2007. In his very first officially sanctioned 100-meter competition, Bolt runs a casual 10.03 seconds, a world-class time that signals his enormous, untapped potential in an event he had to fight to even attempt. This initial performance sets the stage for a shocking result that would soon rewrite the record books.
On May 31, 2008, the athletics world focuses on Icahn Stadium in New York City for a highly anticipated 100-meter final at the Reebok Grand Prix. The race pits Bolt against the reigning American world champion Tyson Gay in what is billed as a major pre-Olympic showdown. Despite less than ideal weather conditions, the event serves as a crucial test for Bolt's still developing 100-meter capabilities against the world's best.
In only his fifth senior 100-meter race, Bolt produces a flawless performance, pulling away from the elite field to cross the finish line in 9.72 seconds. The time shatters the existing world record of 9.74 seconds held by his compatriot Asafa Powell, a feat so stunning that it takes a moment for the reality to register. The performance instantly catapulted him from a promising newcomer to the event's top contender. With this single run, Bolt becomes the undisputed favorite for gold at the Beijing Olympics, completely reshaping the landscape of men's sprinting.
At the 2008 Olympic Games in Beijing, Usain Bolt authors one of the most dominant and memorable performances in the history of the sport. In the 100-meter final, he demolishes the competition and his own world record, posting a time of 9.69 seconds. He achieves this record despite visibly easing up and celebrating with his arms outstretched nearly 15 meters before the finish line, an act of showmanship that underscores his complete superiority. Just days later, he turns his attention to the 200-meter final, targeting the 19.32-second world record set by American sprinter Michael Johnson, a mark widely considered to be unbreakable. Running at maximum effort through the finish, Bolt smashes the record with a time of 19.30 seconds, capturing his second gold medal of the Games. This historic sprint double, reportedly fueled by a diet that included 1,000 McDonald's Chicken McNuggets during his time in Beijing, redefines the perceived limits of human speed.
Exactly 1 year after his Beijing 100-meter victory, Usain Bolt lines up for the final at the 2009 World Championships in Berlin on August 16th. What follows is arguably the single greatest performance in track and field history, as he covers the distance in an otherworldly 9.58 seconds. The run carves an unprecedented 0.11 seconds off his own world record, a margin of improvement that is simply unheard of at the elite level. During the race, biomechanical analysis reveals his top speed reached 44.7 kilometers per hour, or 27.8 miles per hour. Just 4 days later, Bolt provides an astonishing encore in the 200-meter final, running a time of 19.19 seconds. He once again slashes exactly 0.11 seconds from his own world record, creating a stunningly symmetrical pair of record-breaking performances in less than a week. These two records, set in the same stadium, represent the absolute peak of his physical powers. The marks he set in Berlin remain the world records to this day, standing as a monumental testament to his unparalleled talent. Usain Bolt enters the 2011 World Championships in Daegu, South Korea, as the undisputed and overwhelming favorite to defend his 100-meter crown. The event, however, is now operating under a new and highly controversial one-and-done false start rule, which mandates immediate disqualification for any infraction. In the tense hush before the final, Bolt anticipates the gun and flinches in the blocks, triggering the sensors and resulting in his instant removal from the race. The shocking disqualification silences the capacity crowd and denies the sport its marquee moment, allowing Bolt's training partner, Yohan Blake, to claim the world title. The incident sparks a global debate about the fairness of the rule, but Bolt must quickly refocus. In a remarkable display of mental resilience, he channels his immense frustration into the 200-meter final later in the competition, which he wins easily to retain his world title and salvage a gold medal from the meet. Entering the 2012 London Olympics, Usain Bolt faces genuine doubts for the first time in his dominant reign, having lost both the 100 and 200-meter finals to Yohan Blake at the Jamaican national trials. However, he swiftly erases any concerns in the Olympic 100-meter final, exploding from the blocks to win gold in 9.63 seconds, setting a new Olympic record in the process.
This victory is a powerful statement, re-establishing him as the fastest man in the world when it matters most. Bolt continues his triumphant run in the 200 meters, winning gold with a time of 19.32 seconds and becoming the first man in history to secure back-to-back Olympic titles in the event. After crossing the line, he officially declares himself a living legend, a claim he substantiates by anchoring the Jamaican 4x100-meter relay team to another gold medal with a new world record time of 36.84 seconds. His performance in London solidifies his case as the greatest sprinter of all time.
For the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro, a 30-year-old Usain Bolt sets his sights on an unprecedented triple-triple, a third consecutive gold medal sweep in the 100 meters, 200 meters, and 4x100-meter relay. He starts his historic quest by winning the 100-meter final in 9.81 seconds, decisively pulling away from his longtime rival, Justin Gatlin, in the final 40 meters. This makes him the only athlete to ever win the premier sprinting event at 3 different Olympic Games. He follows that victory by comfortably winning the 200-meter final with a time of 19.78 seconds, after which he emotionally kisses the finish line of his last individual Olympic race. The triple-triple is officially completed when he anchors the Jamaican 4x100-meter relay team to victory, securing what is, at the time, his 9th career Olympic gold medal. This final sweep confirms him as the only sprinter to win both the 100 and 200-meter titles at 3 straight Olympics.
In January 2017, the seemingly perfect narrative of Bolt's Olympic career is unexpectedly altered by events that took place nearly a decade earlier. The International Olympic Committee, as part of its ongoing retesting of samples from the 2008 Beijing Games, announces a positive finding for the banned substance methylhexanamine in the sample of Nesta Carter. Carter ran the crucial lead-off leg for the Jamaican 4x100-meter relay team that won gold in Beijing. Under the IOC's strict anti-doping regulations, a positive test from one team member results in the disqualification of the entire squad. Consequently, the Jamaican team is stripped of its 2008 relay victory, and Bolt is officially required to return his gold medal from that race. This decision retroactively breaks his historic triple-triple, revising his final Olympic gold medal count down from 9 to 8. The ruling serves as a stark reminder of how an individual's legacy can be impacted by the actions of others.
Usain Bolt chooses the 2017 World Championships in London as the grand stage for his final professional competition, entering the 100 meters and the 4x100-meter relay. The fairy tale farewell in the individual 100 meters does not come to pass, as a sluggish start relegates him to a third-place finish with a time of 9.95 seconds. He accepts the bronze medal as his longtime rival Justin Gatlin finally secures a gold, with the young American Christian Coleman taking silver. The final race of his career is the 4x100-meter relay final, where Bolt is tasked with running the anchor leg for Jamaica. As he takes the baton and powers down the home stretch, he suddenly cries out and collapses onto the track, his race and career ending in dramatic fashion. A medical examination confirms a severe tear in his left hamstring, a tragic and poetic bookend for a career that began with and was ultimately concluded by the same type of injury. Following his retirement from athletics, Usain Bolt immediately shifts his focus to pursuing his lifelong ambition of becoming a professional football player. He leverages his global celebrity to secure training opportunities with several clubs, including Germany's Borussia Dortmund and Norway's Strømsgodset, in an effort to adapt his raw athletic gifts to a new sport. These trials garner immense media coverage, but do not lead to a formal contract offer. His most legitimate shot comes in August 2018, when he is offered an indefinite trial with the Central Coast Mariners of Australia's A-League. In a pre-season friendly match that October, Bolt scores 2 goals, offering a glimpse of potential and fueling speculation that his dream might become reality. However, the club and Bolt's representatives are ultimately unable to reach a financial agreement on a professional contract, prompting Bolt to announce his final retirement from all sports in January 2019.
Usain Bolt's legacy in athletics is cemented by world records that continue to stand years after his retirement. 9.58 seconds in the 100 meters and 19.19 seconds in the 200 meters. His final official career tally includes 8 Olympic gold medals and 11 World Championship titles, a haul that quantifies his sustained dominance across 3 Olympic cycles. These numbers establish him by a wide margin as the most decorated sprinter in the history of the sport. Beyond the metrics of medals and times, Bolt is widely credited with single-handedly reviving the commercial appeal and global popularity of track and field. His charismatic personality and transcendent performances attracted massive audiences and lucrative sponsorships, making him one of the world's most highly paid athletes, with earnings that exceeded $30 million per year at his peak. Therefore, his ultimate impact is measured not just by what he won, but by the fact that he carried an entire sport on his shoulders for a decade.